What's up, Zox fam? We're back with some more of the First Descendant. Now, we have to get into hotfix 1.1.1. This is a very interesting hotfix because there's a lot more that changed than I actually thought they were going to change for the Season 1 Invasion. And not just the Invasion, but also the Inversion. So I want to jump right into this. This should already be in the game, but I wanted to just go through the detailing because some of this might not be necessarily visible right as soon as you just go right into the game, right? So content improvements. Number one, so Invasion improved the mechanics of the Order of Truth dungeon. So they removed the the arcade pillars that didn't display any symbols. Improved arcade pillars so they now face towards the inside of the battle arena, and they simplified the designs of the symbols displayed on the arcade pillars and reduced the number from 6 to 4. Now, the thing about this and why I would say this is already easier is because the pillars were facing outward, which meant you had to run around to be able to see some of the pillars to be able to shoot them. If they're all facing inward, this means that you can probably almost stand in like one spot and just shoot them, right? So again, that's when we're talking about all you need to do is identifying one of these to be able to tell which drone you need to go after. This is now super easy. Like, I mean, even the gimmick, I honestly personally thought the gimmick wasn't the hard part. I felt like if anything players were having trouble with was like some of the damage they were taking, but not really the gimmick itself. So again, this is where we're at, I guess. So, I mean, hey, it is what it is, right? So they fixed an issue where skills would continue to target the tumors of the arcade pillars. Even after they were destroyed. And then they improved pillars so tumors do not regenerate after they're destroyed. So that was kind of fun to me too, was like trying to quickly get things to see, make it visible. So they, like, when I say they've completely nerfed this, they have completely nerfed this. Like, this is not even remotely the same gimmick anymore, right? Because that was like a huge part of it. Now the tumors are now reduced. So the number of hits needed to destroy the pillars go from 5 to 3. So they significantly reduced that. They adjusted the movement path of the Ancestor drone, reduced the movement speed of the Ancestor drone. Dude, they've slowed this thing completely down. So they changed the direction of the symbol displayed above the Ancestor drone to be vertical. They reduced the number of hits needed to destroy the malignant tumor, blocking the door from 3 to 2. So that means that you should actually be able to, like, it's going to literally be impossible to not get gold. Like, at this point, it's literally going to be impossible, allowing it to be cleared in one attempt. So this means that as soon as you get that drop, you can go right through the door. Increase the range and firing rate of the Inversion energy emitter. And they also fixed an issue where gates would receive damage if the Descendant would hit the gate with a skill while having a module equipped that lowered the skill power modifier. It has also had Inversion energy emitter equipped. And then they increased melee monster spawn rate. And the reason why that's important is because we were having more range units being spawned, which meant you had more aggro bullets. This means that there's going to be more enemies running up to you versus units just shooting you from afar, right? So yeah. Now they also have improved the mechanics of the Legion of Immortality dungeon, removed the time limit from the artificial brain input after the first supply, changed the amount of artificial brains that have to be supplied to 20. I think it was like 30 or 35, somewhere around there. They changed the amount of artificial brains players can hold from 15 to 10 because now that has been, reduced. And then I think actually it might have been 45. It was something crazy up there, but it wasn't that bad. But then they moved the location of the phase separation valve generator near the computing unit in battles with named monsters. So there's also that. They're just making it all easy. So improve the mechanics of the Legion of Darkness dungeon. So they adjusted the arcade tile position to make it easier to identify them, reduce the arcade tile occupation time to 3 seconds. So you're standing on there for like no time. Simplify the color symbols displayed on the arcade tiles, reduce the number from 6 to 4. And then with that, they removed the suicide bomber that would destroy arcade tiles. And so that now you don't have to worry about them resetting. or basically what would happen is they would disappear and then you couldn't stand on them or do anything. So that, I guess, is now changed. Reduce the spawn rate of raiders, who would reduce the arcade tile occupancy. There we go. Jeez. Change the symbols to stay on the arcade tiles longer after stepping off of the central control unit. And then added more central control units to allow identifying arcade tiles to be more easier in some dungeons. They almost have kind of baby proofed this a little bit, man. Like this is kind of, I didn't think they were gonna change that much of the dungeons. Now, overall, fix the dungeon. The difficulty of the name monster patterns and invasions. So, reduce all frequency of skills used during immunity. Leadress, reduce the quantity of frequency of guided projectiles during immunity. So, we're not going to be getting aggroed as much. Sigvior, reduce the skill frequency of high angle projectiles and reduce the duration of AoE remaining from explosives during immunity. Garolf, reduce the skill usage frequency of guided projectile skills and remove the shield bearer summoning skill during immunity. Gremoth, reduce the skill use frequency of Thermite grenade during immunity. Vigrid, I don't know how to say that, but remove the use of guided missile or guided projectile skills and reduce the frequency of barrier wall usage during immunity. And then Agonia, reduce the ice prison skill use frequency during immunity, and Dreadful Abomination, reduce the beam skill use frequency during immunity. And Demogorgon, which is reducing the use of beam skill, reduce the mycelium skill use frequency during immunity, and reduce the teleportation skill use frequency in combat. So, dude, all these bosses are like, they should, like, bro, nobody should be complaining. I'm going to be remaking these videos because obviously I just want to show like the difficulty. If you're still struggling, I can't really understand how, considering that everything is nerfed. Everything is either nerf or buff, right? Now, I want to move on because I don't want to bore you guys with going through every last change, but just know that they're different, right? And they're much easier to deal with. Now, the other big thing here that I don't want to skip is that they increase Hailey research material rewards available at each clear time and invasions from 3, 2, 1 to 5, 4, and 3. So it's going to be very faster and much faster, I should say, for you to be able to get her farmed up, considering how strong she is. Now, they improve the inversion reinforcement skill effects. Okay, I'm not going through all of these. And the reason why I'm not is because every last one of these got buffed. So it's all better. Like they basically, what they did was they took out the negative effects on basically almost all of these. Actually, all of these like basically lost almost all the negative effects, minus some like with the skill range and stuff like that. But the thing like right here where it's like minus 0.9 defense, nope, they took that out. Now it's just a positive and it's even more. So it gives you more HP, plus 9.5 instead of 4.7 HP. Everything here is made better. 2.6 toxin resistance now is 6.5 up to 2 stacks, and now it no longer has that negative firearm attack. So everything here has been made better. So if you don't use season 1 buffs, I am coming after you, okay? I've been saying to start stacking and doing stuff for the season 1 buffs because they were already pretty solid, but now they're even better. So I'm gonna be out here acting like the Godfather, breaking legs. No, I'm kidding. But please, for the love of Christ, use these, please. These are literally going to change the game and how they work, and they apply outside of invasion. I don't know how much I have to emphasize that. If you're having trouble with Void Intercept, with hard mode, these apply outside of invasion, okay? So use them, please. All right. Now, what they also have here, it looks like they also changed some other things. So shield increase of overwhelming shield has been increased to 26.8% of max HP. HP increase of overwhelming HP, these are mods, by the way, have been increased to 19.8% of max shield. They decrease defense and HP of Pyromaniac in standard and hard and intercept battle. Also decrease HP and shield of the Hummingbirds, which appear in the Executioner and Pyromaniac in intercept battle. So that's going to make it easier to kill them, to prevent them from going into rage much quicker. Kill score of defeating monsters in certain hard infiltration operations have been increase. Kingston, Magister Lab, Sterile Lands, Unknown Laboratory, Fortress Quarantine Zone, shorten the time required to interact with objects. All right. Now, outside of that, some bug fixes. Some of the main ones, missions have been adjusted to start only after entering the large-scale outpost barricade. Fix the issue with incorrect text prompts that were displayed in different battlefields, right? Now, as far as like some of the Descendants, they fixed the issue where reference distance is incorrectly displayed to seem like it's being affected by skill effect range related stats in the info screen of Hailey's safe strategic retreat. And then they fixed the abnormal slipping that happened when Hailey used the Zenith skill after the sub attack utilizing grappling hook. Okay. Now, outside of that, some of the other things that the team goes to say, and this is the additional comments, I guess to kind of further explain and just kind of tie this all together. It says, "Greeting Descendants. This is the director of the First Descendant, Min Suk Ju. Based on the community feedback and data, the dev team has analyzed the success rate of the invasion dungeons and adjusted the difficulty of puzzles and battles against named bosses. Although not yet included in the 1.1.1 update, we are also working on adding matchmaking for the invasion dungeons." So that's letting you know. I know some of you guys are probably wondering. It's still in the works. We're committed to improving this feature so that you can enjoy Invasion Dungeons with your party as soon as possible. We have also increased the amount of rewards for Hailey's research materials that can be obtained in Invasion Dungeons. In the 1.1.0 update, we improved the drop rate of Hailey's research materials as infiltration operation rewards, but based on the continuing community feedback about how difficult the farming is, we have adjusted the rewards for clearing Invasion Dungeons. So now 12 through 20 research materials can be received daily, depending on the trophy earned. We hope this adjustment allows more players to farm Hailey more easy and enjoy the game. We have improved the effectiveness of the inversion reinforcement and removed penalties. Additionally, stacking conditions have also been reduced, so it is easier to trigger. The enhancement of the inversion reinforcement includes a lot of defensive effects, so we hope it will help the Descendants to make their builds even more aggressive. So this is just all a massive power boost. Like, it's almost slim to no negative effects now. And then one of the major changes for this season has been that the usage of the heart infiltration operation has seen a significant increase since the season update. The rise in participation stems from the increased activity for those farming Hailey in the infiltration operation and improved reward efficiency. The dev team hopes the infiltration operation will become an important farming location, and this preparing to make adjustments to some sections with traps to provide a better gameplay experience. Finally, in the second update scheduled for October, we plan on introducing infiltration operations of the highest difficulty. So this is what I'm gonna say, right? They're going to, so it looks like what they have happened was that they made this stuff farmable for people now, but this next stuff that's coming out, it's expected. They're telling you it is going to be harder. So if you don't take the time to farm the right guns, if you don't take the time to farm up your buffs, if you don't take the time to play the game, honestly, like truly making solid investment choices, I don't think that they're really going to have much wiggle room unless like this is so broken that even the top players can't do it. But I feel like if top players and people that have been putting in the time are able to do the highest difficulty, then you cannot expect them to make it easier for you to do the highest difficulty, especially considering that they just did this massive overhaul nerf, right? And then the highest difficulty is supposed to be something that is a challenge for those that have been putting in the time and have grinded up stuff. So I think it's really important, and it's okay to have balances throughout the, throughout things to have it, adjust to the overall player base. But there are and need to be things that are challenging and truly are challenging for all the broken stuff that people are able to do and have, because otherwise what we're going to have is a 360 flip, and really it's a 180 flip, where instead of it being the casuals complaining, it's going to be the people that are actually playing the game, like with extensive amounts of hours put into the game. They're going to be the ones leaving and complaining because they don't have or feel like anything is challenging enough for all of the work that they're putting into the game. And some of you guys can sit here and argue and be like, oh, well, they put too much time. I've had people say that a lot. And the thing is that everybody values and uses their time differently, but it doesn't mean that that person is any less of a hard worker or any less of, I don't know, a sane human being because they decide that their hobby is going to be playing video games or putting time into a game. Some of you guys scroll on TikTok or Instagram all day, or some of you guys go and you're spending tons of money on sneakers or whatever it is. So everybody has something that they do that could be looked at, quote unquote, as a bad habit, or you put too much time into that. And my thing is if you love video games and it's a stress reliever for you and you enjoy it, it's perfectly fine for you to do that, right? No differently than if your hobby was cooking or something. I don't know. And you like eating food, right? Nobody's looking at you eat more food, right? Like, so that's my thing, man, is that we don't want the game to get so nerfed into the ground that it feels like it's become a baby-proof game and everything is just super easy. I will say, though, I do think that this should help you guys, okay? But I will say that I am looking more forward to there being harder content, because that's actually a big reason why I want to play these types of games, is to be able to have challenging content and to feel like I earned what I was able to do, from whatever skill or hard work I put into the game. So I believe that in this game, everybody can be good because there's nothing in this game that you technically can't have, right? Like, that's just not the case. Unless it's the skins, everything is accessible to everybody. It just is a matter of your RNG or your luck and the time that you put in. So again, let me know how you guys feel about this. I feel like, again, it's a pretty solid change. This should make things very, very easy for those of you guys. Like I said, I'm gonna have some more videos coming, just kind of showcasing that. But yeah, that's gonna be basically that, guys. Everyone, stay blessed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.